Okay, so today I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to install QFlipper and then flash to the latest Unleashed firmware for the Dark Flippers firmware. So the first thing you want to do is open up an internet browser. Keep in mind this is for Linux. And you're going to want to go ahead and type in, let's say, download QFlipper. Right. Download QFlipper. So download QFlipper for Linux, right? So I'm gonna click this, and right here, I'm gonna go over to downloads, and I'm just gonna save it in downloads, right? So if you go here, we'll open that up, right? Well, it's in downloads, right? So I guess it's all we need though. So right, it's in downloads, and I'm gonna go ahead and delete the current one I have. So QFlipper. And I'm gonna go ahead and CPARFV. Home user CPARFV home user downloads QFlipper, right? So I got it right here. So this is the one we downloaded, right? And you're gonna go ahead and move it in a bin, right? Now, because I'm on root, obviously this needs to be owned by the user, right? And the user I use for just a standard user is USR. So I'm gonna do chown user like this, and then go to bin, and then QFlipper, right? And then one more thing, we're gonna do chmod, yeah, and QFlipper like that, right? And then we're just gonna start typing it in. Like this one, and we're push enter, right? So if you saw right here, what it says is blah blah blah. Directory is not owned by is not owned by. That's some. Oh, that's right. I opened it. I'm dumb. I'm sorry. Anyway, so forget I did that. So that one right there, and then go back into here and just go into my roofie, and then run it. Okay, and then you see it ran. Now, the one thing you're going to have a different issue with when you run this the first time is that when you run this the first time, it's going to give you an error. Not even after you chmod and do the permissions, and what it's going to tell you, and because I just deleted mine and redid it, I don't think it's going to tell it to me. But what it's going to say is it should have a little box here. Let me go ahead and plug mine up just so y'all see. And so I plugged mine up so y'all can see real quick. And as you see, it pulled up right away and it's good to go. Now, if you're going to want to do, now on yours, what's probably going to happen is when you plug it in everything, you run it for the first time, you're going to have a box here and it's going to say run this command, and that's just going to install some extra files or adjust some permissions or whatever, and then you'll be able to run it like me. So I can't really show you that because I'd have to either boot up a virtual machine and blah blah blah, and I'm not going to do that. I'm sure y'all can figure that part out. It's just going to have a little message here, and you just, please run this for install permissions, blah blah, right? And now, this part's easy. You're going to love this. So you'd think that Unleashed Dark firmware would be really hard to install, right? No, it's not. In fact, you can use this. Oh, one other thing you do need to know, if this is the first time installing your firmware, you may or may not get an error, and your device might freeze. This is what I experienced on the first time you do the firmware flash, not even associated with the Unleashed firmware, but just the stock firmware. The first time you flash it, it might freeze. Don't worry, it won't break it. Also, another thing you might want to know is you hold both back buttons to do a force reset. So that would be this one right here, and then this one right here, right? And you do those two to do a force reset. Now, over here, after you did that, after, you got ready to flash and everything, you're going to come over to here, and you're going to go ahead, and you're going to go, Unleashed Firmware Flipper, right? And you're going to make this real nice and big. And you're going to look for a specific firmware. So, you can see, we got a lot of contributors. 231. So this thing's active. In fact, there was just another release 8 hours ago, and this thing's, you know, it's Flipper, so it's pretty hot. Obviously, you can see 220 contributors, blah blah blah, and it's probably gonna keep going there. I don't know what the band say. It doesn't look like they're banned yet. I still see them on Amazon. Heard rumors about them being banned, but I haven't seen them actually banned yet. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Now you go over to where is this at? Well, I don't know. I'm looking for it right now. Okay, the firmware is a fork from Flipper blah 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 0. Join the Discord server right here. Blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. Right. Now, where is that at? I'm sorry I lost it. Yeah, no, it's okay. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Let's go back here. Now there's a specific. Oh, here we go. Oops, I'm sorry. Releases. That took me a while. So you scroll down here, right? And if you go over here to, so we're gonna go ahead and download. We're gonna go ahead and download update. Now there's an Unleased E, and there's an Unleashed. I'm not exactly sure what this one is, but let's go ahead and try this one. 32E. Now I've done this one before, but this one's a little bit bigger in size. Let's try this one. Anyway, so you're gonna click this one right here, and we're just gonna go ahead and save it in the, you know, default home folder, user folder, whatever. And I'm gonna go to install from file. I'm gonna scroll down, and you'll see that one right there, right? I'm gonna click it. Firmware from file Flipper blah blah update Unleashed will be installed. Installed, right? And it's gonna start installing. In all honesty, I have no clue what the E1 is, but it had a bigger file size, so I figured, hey, let's go ahead and try it. Anyway, wow, that was easy, right? Yeah, it was a lot easier than I thought it would be. You'd think it would be a total nightmare, but it's not. About the hardest part about setting this up is getting QFlipper to work on Linux, which took me a few tries until I figured out there was like this tiny message in that box I was showing you all that simply just says run this command. I finally saw it, and after that, no problem. So it's gonna load up here. Oh, by the way, any of you guys that got experience on this, I mean a lot of experience with Flipper and servers and networking and stuff, there's a brute force, like on you know, the Unleashed firmware. They have specific brute forcing options, and they work. Problem is they're really slow. So I was wondering if anyone has any experience by just copying the key, sending it back to a server for decryption, like have your Flipper go to your phone Bluetooth and then send it to your phone, and then have your phone bounce it back to your server, and then it get decrypted, and then it bounces back to the Flipper. That way, if you're on I don't know, like a Legend of Zelda adventure, and you're going around hitting locks and stuff like that, the you'll be able to hit the locks really quick, is all I'm saying. You know? So yeah. So after that, yeah, you're pretty much just gonna wait. And you're gonna wait. And you're gonna wait. And I'd show you my Flipper, but I can't right now. On the screen, it takes a little bit. It's saying updating. It's got a little message going across and all that great stuff. And we're just gonna keep waiting. Eventually, it's gonna be done here. Okay, as you can see here, it's done. It didn't take that long. And then on my screen it says it's got a little dolphin, so you know you have the dolphin as the default one. And this one's dark. This guy is really like all dark and stuff. And seems to be pretty pissed off, but it seems like he's got some more abilities. So now you have the Dark Unleashed Flipper firmware. Yeah, and then you go back to your stock screen. You know, take the red pill. Pretty cool. Yeah, this one. Anyway, so that's it. If you like the video, you know, buy me a cup of coffee, like and subscribe. I hope to help you all out. Just doing this little update. Not too hard. A little bit of head scratching here and there, but it's not the hardest thing in the world. So I give it a difficulty like what, 5. Anyway, like the video, like and subscribe. Out.